One legendary highway runs from Canada to Mexico. And in Arizona, it delivers some of the most unforgettable miles of the journey. Welcome back to Highway 89 and our Arizona road trip. We'll stand at the edge of the Grand Canyon, jeep through red rock trails in Sedona, walk among ancient ruins in Wupaki, and explore the iconic sites around Page. From sacred lands to the streets of Nogales, this is Highway 89, and this is our Arizona road trip. Let's hit the road.
We have just left Kanab, the Hitch and Post RV park in Kanab, and we're heading south on Highway 89. Actually 89A, and we're heading to Jacob Lake, which is kind of the gateway to the north rim of the Grand Canyon. So just south of Kanab is Arizona. So we're just about to come into Fredonia, but Arizona is our last state on our Highway 89 tour, because Arizona 89 will go all the way to the Mexican border. So for the next few weeks, we are going to be in Arizona. So here we are, heading on to Arizona. Yes, this is state number 5?
State 5, Brandon.
State number 5, here we are.
6,000 feet going up. Gotta get on top of this base, because on the other side is the Grand Canyon.
The other side of this.
Our epic Big Rig RV road trip adventure brings us on Highway 89A, the more direct route from Kanab to the Grand Canyon North Rim, and our next stop at Jacob Lake Campground in Jacob Lake. It's less than 40 miles to the campground, so we take our time and stop at the top of the climb at the fantastic viewing area La Favre Overlook.
It wasn't that long ago that we were in Bryce Canyon, and we were standing at the very edge, and we were wondering what's over here and how far is the view from Bryce Canyon. And now this is a better representation from Bryce Canyon and what we're seeing the opposite side from Bryce Canyon. So I like seeing this because it really points it out.
And you can see it.
And you can see Bryce Canyon from here, and that's pretty cool.
They have a pink, a gray, a white, a vermilion, and a chocolate color. All the different colors of the cliffs.
Right, and that's why it's called the Grand Staircase, because it's all these different little plateaus in different colors.
Yeah.
The Grand Staircase.
We had planned on an early lunch here, but some groundskeepers showed up and parked right next to us and fired up their chainsaws. That's okay. We'll let them go to work. We'll just continue the short distance up the road to Jacob Lake. Jacob Lake is a very small town located at the intersection of Highway 89A and Route 67, the Grand Canyon Highway. Here you'll find the Kaibab Plateau Visitor Center, a gas station, and the Jacob Lake Inn. You need to drive past this establishment before heading into the national park. It makes a perfect location to grab a rustic homemade meal in the dining room or a snack at the cafe. Some recipes have been on the menu for over 50 years. We'll probably go back to pick up some world-famous cookies for dessert. Jacob Lake Campground is just down the street. It's a Forest Service campground, so no hookups, no water, and no dump station. But the sites are nicely spaced apart, and most are deep enough for big rigs. But some of them aren't quite level. As I pull into our site, I assess our camp spot. We picked this spot because we used it a couple years ago. It just doesn't look as level as we remember it. It seems like the further to the rear I can go, the flatter it will be.
We've got about 6 feet to go back. Maybe 5. Let me go to driver. Hold on, let me go to driver. I think you can still go back 3 feet. Okay, I'm checking where you are versus the stopper. Okay. Yeah, you sure look nose down.
All 3 steps.
It took just a little more time to get set up, but once we were settled, we headed back to the inn for some cookies.
The pumpkin.
Can you taste it, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
What do you think?
Tomorrow will be epic as we head on a dirt road to Point Sublime, one of my favorite places on the canyon rim. I can't wait.
Come on. I know, come on.
Ah, it was another fine evening, with the pine trees whispering all night long. Before we depart for the day, we need to make room for our lunch supplies and Kenai, so we can head off on our Jeep 4x4 off-road adventure.
You ready to go? Okay, come on. Bring your ball. Bring your ball. Yeah, bring your ball. Come on. Nope. In the back. Jump. Yep, jump. There you go. Got your ball? You got your ball? You ready to go for a ride? Okay, we're going to go for a ride, puppy. Point Sublime. We're going to hit Point Sublime today, puppy. You've been there once before already. But we're going again. Closing up. Doggy, you back there?
Dog?
Door's locked.
Okay, spare
We got
keys.
food. We got
Here's the pass is
the
in
pass.
here.
Okay. We got the tablet. Let's start that up
Okay.
and get that going.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I'm ready to go to Point Sublime.
Record. It's Point Sublime.
All right.
Let's do that. Okay, so I hit the record button.
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
Here we come.
Doors are open. That's what that is. Wow, wow, wow. I got that on film, Nebraska. Didn't even look. And that was open yesterday.
Okay. Good morning.
Thank you. A map for you?
Please. I'm sure it hasn't changed, but
All right. Yep. Enjoy.
Thank you. Never seen buffalo here on the North Rim before, but apparently there are buffalo here. I don't know if you can see them. I can zoom in. Okay, buffalo, yes.
It's about a 45-minute drive from Jacob Lake to the North Rim Lodge. We took advantage of the facilities for a quick pit stop before heading out into the wilderness. Even Kenai made her presence known. We turned onto an access road that crossed paths with the Arizona National Scenic Hiking Trail. It was a good place to air down. Then we started our adventure on the Point Sublime Trail, a 4x4 dirt road that will take us to the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Point Sublime Trail, finally.
We're off.
After a little trouble on our left rear.
We're off.
See what the air pressure works out to on the Jeep's gauges here in a little bit. We're off.
The best time to put it in four-wheel drive is before you need it.
Yep.
Right?
The off-road trail started out just like it was 3 years ago when we first drove out to Point Sublime. But soon it got steadily worse, with lots of big downed trees scattered beside the dirt road. Then the ruts from the monsoon rainstorm started to appear. It made the going a bunch slower than we expected. I'm sure glad we had 35s on our Jeep.
That looked a little tough there for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, we got to the first Canyon Edge feature of the day. It's an awesome stop. Don't miss it.
Well, that ride here so far, I think is a little rougher than it was 3.5 years ago.
It's a short but spectacular drive to the point. There's a pit toilet out here, and with permits you can spend the night. That's something I want to do someday. Can you imagine what the stars might look like? We pulled into a nice shady spot and set up for lunch. While we were getting ready, a Ford Bronco pulled up and 2 Rangers got out. I was hoping we didn't do anything wrong. They started chatting with us, and it proved to be very interesting.
I think it's 1883.
1883.
Yeah, there was a expedition out here led by Clarence Dutton, who was a geologist, and had a painter with him, a guy named Clarence, I think, Holmes. And they did this triptych, which you can see these things right here. This is the first one, of From Point Sublime, and that's the second one.
Wow.
And then the third one. So this basically the entire panorama.
Yep.
That looks great.
Aren't these fabulous?
Yeah.
And they became, I was telling JD about this, they became the first really accurate imagery of the Grand Canyon that then
For the rest of the world to see.
for the rest of the world to see.
Yeah.
And it inspired so much exploration, and you know, we got to send the railroad out there, and Teddy Roosevelt came out, and you know, people saying like, holy cow,
Yeah.
this is incredible.
Yeah.
And led to tourism and, you know, mining and all that kind of stuff, and the history just went from there. So these are the ones.
The ones that started it. And so now you're reproducing them in real life,
Rephotographing, yeah.
current.
Yeah. And then it goes on the park website, and I'm not sure how we're going to do the triptych, probably one at a time, because it's too much for the website to do them all together. But
Sure.
so there's a slider that goes back and forth between
Ah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
and the new.
Old and
It's
new.
really cool.
Wow.
Of what you've done so far, how much has changed?
Well, you know, most of so
I mean, it's what, 100 years, 120 years,
Almost 150 years.
150 years?
Powell's first expedition was 1871.
Okay.
A bunch of people died on that expedition, so they didn't make it anywhere close to down this area. But then they came back the next year, better funded, better equipped, and made it all the way down to the Gulf of California. But let's not forget, the Native Americans have been rafting and exploring
Forever.
this area.
Yes.
I mean,
For hundreds.
thousands, 25,000 years, according to University of California researchers.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you know,
one of the early exploration rafting trips was to determine where to put dams in the Grand Canyon.
sure.
Fortunately, they didn't build any of those, but they did build a couple.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a couple, yeah.
Screwed it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I'll put a link down below in the description if I can find his work. Once we were done talking, we finished our lunch and hung out a bit. It took quite a bit longer to get here, over 3 hours. The trail was so bad. Our conversation with the Rangers helped us make a decision to try a different route back to camp. It turned out to be a little less fun, but an hour shorter. Perfect for us to get back before dark.
Point Sublime is spectacular.
It is, and I'm just saying the whole Grand Canyon in general, or most of it, it looks fake. It looks Disney fake because it's just that grand and that magnificent. And it's just hard to believe that it exists. And it, as much as we go to see it, this is our 3rd time this year to see the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Our 3rd time this year. And I'll come back again because it is that spectacular.
Point Sublime takes all day to get there and back. We left pretty early, and look at the shadows, it's gotten pretty late. It's been a long day, but it's been a great day. It's also good to be back in one piece. Jacob Lake Campground is situated in a great spot. Although there's campgrounds closer to the park entrance, we enjoy this one a lot. Our big rig RV is named Basecamp, and for good reason. We use it as a base camp regularly. We have enough batteries and holding tanks to last a good 4 or 5 days dry camping. Next time, we'll attempt some boondocking we found in the area. But that's next time. This time it'll be tacos from the taco truck in front of the inn. And then a nice quiet evening chatting about if we can top today's fun tomorrow.
All right, good morning. We had a beautiful, nice, cool night last night. And now we're packing up to head to North Rim Grand Canyon. So let's go.
Today we'll be exploring the Cape Royal area of the Grand Canyon. We head that way and stop where the Ken Patrick Trail crosses the Cape Royal Road for a quick canyon view. Once again, it's simply stunning. We'll spend the morning bebopping around. There's a lot of pullouts and viewing areas to visit. We want to see them all.
We are at Angel's Window Point.
Nice.
Never been here before. This is great.
Yeah, you doing okay, doggy?
She is. She's just watching everybody go by.
Okay. This is Walhalla's viewpoint. I think this is the start, basically, of the Grand Canyon. Because there's a plateau right over there, and if we go any further, which we are going towards the other point that's over here, we'll see maybe even more of the start of the Grand Canyon. But North Rim Lodge is way the heck down that way. So we're quite a ways north of or east of the North Rim Lodge. Anyway, Grand Canyon, ain't it grand?
We're here.
Made it.
Yep.
Back at the North Rim Lodge area for a quick pit stop, we wander around. The lodge here is located on the edge of the rim and has fantastic views from the huge picture windows. definitely stop and give it a tour. And the patio is a great place to relax after a long day hiking. On our way back to camp, we stumble on another dirt road. Where does it go, I wonder?
This is kind of neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. This was the 4-mile trip down the dirt road. It's a nice overlook.
It's beautiful. It's not the Grand Canyon, but it is the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
What do you think, puppy? Is this the Arizona Trail? Are you sitting on the Arizona Trail? Nice. Getting my air hose underneath the slide here. We probably should do this after the slide's in, but I'm a glutton for punishment. I think it's in this bay here. Yep, the battery bay. I have an air line up there. And we'll hook it up. We'll be able to air up our Jeep tires using the air tank on the camper. Let's see what we got here.
Today is a drive day, so it's time to pack up and head out. I don't think Kenai wants to leave. I aired up our Jeep tires to towed pressures 40 psi. We go through our departure checklist so we don't miss anything important. Jacob Lake has been yet another super fun stop on our Highway 89 road trip. How can you beat the Grand Canyon? The North Rim is definitely less crowded than the South Rim, and that's why we love it over here. But Highway 89 is right here on our doorstep, and it's time to head south. Goodbye, Grand Canyon. Our time here was very memorable. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. Jacob Lake sits at 7,921 feet above sea level, making it the second highest pass on Highway 89. The winner was inside Yellowstone National Park on the Continental Divide at a whopping 8,262 feet. Not too far away is the House Rock Valley Overlook. It has a commanding view of the valley below. Definitely stop here for a quick look.
Oh, this is one of my more favorite view spots. Look at the vista. We got the Vermilion Cliffs right here. Wire Pass Road goes off. It goes up into that valley to Buckskin Gulch. That's where I was a couple days ago, but it's a little longer drive this way. That's why I went from Kanab. But look at those red cliffs. Love the Southwest. Anyway, we're heading down. You can see the road going off into the distance there. That's where we're heading. Heading down.
It's a twisty, turny drive to the bottom of the cliffs, but once down, it's smooth sailing to our next out-of-this-world stop. I'd been keeping an eye on the camera, suction cupped to the side of our RV using my rear view mirror. But then I looked back and it was gone. We pulled over at a turnout and I hiked over a mile to find it virtually unscathed, sitting in the middle of the road.
You still running? How about that? I was about to give up.
After recovering our kamikaze GoPro, we continued on our way to the tiny little town of Cliff Dweller and the ghostly hoodoos sitting right beside Highway 89A. Highway 89A passes through Marble Canyon here in the scenic Vermilion Cliffs, where there's an interesting stop with a unique history. During the Great Depression, Bill and Blanche Russell packed up and moved to the southwest. While driving through Marble Canyon, their car broke down near these big rock hoodoos, and they found themselves camping here overnight. So drawn to the beauty of the land, they decided to stay and build their future here. Initially, the house was built from tar paper and boards, leaning against the largest rock. Eventually, they built a successful trading post business, which expanded to a full-scale restaurant and gas station. These are the original structures.
Well, those are always fun to wander around, stretch your legs. But here we are, middle September, and it's still warm here. It's probably right around the 80-degree mark or something here at 10 o'clock in the morning.
I can see why the Russells decided to stay here. But a little further down the road is Lee's Ferry, another stop with some interesting history. Lee's Ferry is the only place within the Glen Canyon where visitors can drive to the Colorado River in over 700 miles. Due to its unique geography, it has historically served as an important river crossing, and starting in the mid-19th century was the site of a ferry operated by John Doyle Lee, for whom this place is named. Lee's Ferry served as a military outpost for 19th century settlements in Utah, and since the 1920s was the principal point at which river flow is measured to metering water allocations in the Colorado River Basin. Lee's Ferry has long been the focal point of American Southwest water disputes and has been called both the physical and spiritual heart of water history in the arid West. Next up is Navajo Bridge. By the mid-1920s, automobiles began using Lee's Ferry as a means to cross the Colorado River. It was time to find a safer, more reliable way for vehicles to cross. Construction began in 1927, but it was difficult to get men, materials, and equipment from one rim to another, a distance of only 800 feet. Lee's Ferry was used to transport materials whenever possible, but it sank in an accident that killed 3 men. It was a historic day when on January 12, 1929, the bridge was open to traffic. At the time, it was the highest steel bridge in the world. Originally named the Grand Canyon Bridge, in 1934, after great debate in the Arizona legislature, the official name was changed to Navajo Bridge. Back on Highway 89, this iconic cliffside ascent is the well-traveled way to Page. We'll be camping there the next couple of nights. But first, we need to stop for some supplies here at the Walmart on the new side of town. The parking lot looks packed, and there's a lot of big rig RVs hanging out there too. We find a spot detached to fit and then head in to get some fresh groceries. Then it's off to set up camp at the Page Lake Powell campground. Once again, we found the camp spot to be a little challenging to park in with our big rig. Luckily, we had enough blocks to make it work.
That's 2. Go back another 1.5 inches to 2. Yeah, that should do you right there.
Once we were settled, we made our way to the famous Horseshoe Bend to try to catch sunset there.
I've been coming here for 50 years, but I've never been here.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. How come my parents never took me here?
That's right.
Horseshoe Bend is a superb example of an entrenched meander. The overlook is 1,000 feet above the Colorado River. A social media darling, Horseshoe Bend has become one of the most recognized and visited places in Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. For a long time, it was mostly popular with nearby residents, but the yearly visitor count sharply increased with the exposure through social media. Currently, over 2 million visitors peer over the rim's edge each year. It's up and at 'em early this morning. Yesterday's sunset at Horseshoe Bend was spectacular, and it seemed to get more crowded the darker it got. Today we have a long list of places to visit here in Page, and the Glen Canyon Dam is first on our things to see. The Glen Canyon Dam is a concrete arch gravity dam built by the Bureau of Reclamation from 1956 to 1966 and forms Lake Powell, one of the largest man-made reservoirs in the U.S. A dam in Glen Canyon was studied as early as 1924, but these plans were dropped in favor of Hoover Dam. Due to the rapid population growth in the Colorado River Basin, the Bureau of Reclamation deemed the construction of an additional reservoir was necessary. The dam remains a central issue for environmentalist movements calling to dismantle the dam and drain the lake. Water managers state that the dam is a major source of renewable energy and provides a buffer for severe droughts. It was one of the last great dams built in the U.S. The Carl Hayden Visitor Center has a bunch of exhibits describing all of the issues surrounding the construction of this dam. The most interesting thing we saw was a display providing knowledge about the water needs of us humans. It says to produce enough food for one person for one day requires 528 gallons of fresh water. It takes 1,850 gallons to process 1 barrel of crude oil, and to make a new car uses an astonishing 39,000 gallons of water. That was just some of the interesting facts inside of the visitor center.
Here's the dam power plant in Montrose, Colorado.
This is where this is from?
Uh-huh.
Then we headed to view Lake Powell from a few different vantage points. We came across a pullout just off the highway for our first look of the iconic lake in over 15 years. We pulled into Wahweap Marina, where nothing seems to have changed too much other than the lake level. But it did bring back some great family memories. Our family has vacationed here on well over 20 different Lake Powell houseboat trips. We have a lot of memories cruising on the lake, like going to Dangling Rope for blocks of ice. We've even driven our speedboat beneath Rainbow Bridge many years ago when the lake was much higher.
At least they have a ramp all the way down.
I've been coming here for almost 50 years to this lake, thanks to my dad. And it's just really strange seeing it. It's been over 10 years, maybe 15 years since I've been here. Seeing all the changes to the place and how low the water level is now. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it's just kind of surreal to be here and seeing all the changes that are going on. It's not bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So it actually kind of feels good to be here.
Then we drove to the top of a butte to a great Lake Powell viewing area that was large enough for tour buses.
Used to go out this way when the lake was full. You used to go out that way and go straight on up the lake because it's almost 200 miles. But now that the lake level's so low, instead of going straight up the lake, you've got to go around this way, which is very narrow, and it gets really, really wavy, bumpy in there. So you got to go way out of your way to go back so that you could go up, because the lake goes to the left of Navajo Mountain.
We might need to come up here for sunset.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Another great spot was down by the lake at Lone Rock in the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. You can camp right down by the water. It's definitely on our bucket list. And thankfully, the water level is high enough to surround Lone Rock. Back on the highway, we head to Antelope Point Marina to see what's going on over there. The campground looks new and very nice. But between you and me, I'd rather be over by Lone Rock. the long launch ramp was closed. It wasn't long enough to reach the level of the water. But Kenai wanted to taste Lake Powell, so we drove all the way to the bottom.
Look at her. She's like, I want to go. Antelope Point launch ramp. The Antelope Point launch ramp is closed. Water level is too low.
We drove back to our base camp in Page for a change into cooler clothes and a quick lunch before heading out to some interesting Atlas Obscura finds. But you can never turn down some cool green grass to run in.
Little Motel Row as found on Atlas Obscura. Built in the 50s. Okay, so all this was built in 56 in preparation for housing people to construct the Glen Canyon Dam. This is where the workers stayed.
Atlas Obscura pointed us to a little city park in the older part of downtown Page. It was a memorial to the dismantled Navajo generating station. The coal-fired power plant produced 2.25 gigawatts and was located on the Navajo Nation. We remember seeing the tall stacks when returning back to Wauweep after a great week houseboating on the lake. It was a sign we had returned back to civilization. All the tall, colorful artwork was made out of the pipes from inside the boilers of the power plant. It was another cool find here in Page. We had one more Atlas Obscura site we needed to find. Hidden behind a Shell gas station is a really cool, locals only known rock formation. A small parking area brings you to a wind cave known as the Big Lake Sand Cave. It's really cool and really close to town. We hope you enjoyed our tour of Page. As we've mentioned, it's been part of our family vacations for years, and we really love it here. Page is an incredible gateway town to some awesome places. Definitely add it to your road trip bucket list.
This morning we are leaving Page and we're heading down to the Flagstaff area. There are stops to make along the way. We'll show you.
Welcome to the Arizona stretch of our Highway 89 road trip. Today's travel day takes us south towards Flagstaff, where we'll be boondocking deep in the pines near Sedona, just off Schnebly Hill Road. Yes, that's Schnebly Hill Road. But don't worry, we're not taking our big rig RV down that rough section. Instead, we'll be setting up camp in a quiet, secluded spot, perfect for enjoying the solitude of RV life off the beaten path. Flagstaff's higher elevation should help us escape the Phoenix heat dome, at least for a few days. But before we settle in, we have an action-packed drive ahead, winding through the Highway 89 scenic byway filled with hidden gems, ancient ruins, and volcanic landscapes. that reveal Arizona's unexpected history. This stretch of Highway 89 is full of surprises, and we're excited to take you along. Our first stop takes us to Cameron Trading Post and Tanner's Crossing, a site rich in history along Highway 89. The Cameron Trading Post was once an important stop for travelers, traders, and ranchers navigating the harsh Arizona frontier. Like many trading posts in the Southwest, it served as a hub where Native Americans, settlers, and explorers exchanged goods, stories, and supplies. These posts were essential for survival in the remote desert landscape, offering everything from food and tools to blankets and ammunition. As we walk through the Cameron Trading Post today, it's clear that it has evolved from a historic supply stop into more of a tourist destination. It's packed with Native American crafts, souvenirs, and classic roadside t-shirts, snacks, and trinkets. A far cry from its earlier days as a lifeline for frontier traders.
Gallery.
I got the front door thing that says 1916 to 2016, 100 years.
100 years.
100 years.
So they don't even let you walk on it.
No.
Nearby, Tanner's Crossing Bridge spans the Little Colorado River, marking a historic crossing point that played a key role in Arizona's early transportation routes. The crossing was named after Seth Tanner, a Mormon pioneer who traveled extensively throughout the region in the late 1800s. The bridge allowed for safer passage across the often unpredictable river, which could shift from a dry wash to a rushing torrent depending on the season. This route was once a lifeline for traders, missionaries, and cattle drivers making their way between northern Arizona settlements and the Grand Canyon region. Today it stands as a reminder of the challenges early travelers faced while navigating this rugged landscape.
Okay, looks like the motel's been upgraded too. Looks like a cute place.
There's still a stripe from the old road. Yeah, check that out. Paint stripe. All these RV and bus spots. I guess the bus spots are a little bit longer, but the RV spots are barely big enough for really anything. I've seen truck parking spots. Anyway, so we parked up the hill. That's a good idea if you're towing a trailer anything bigger than about 10 feet.
Cameron Trading Post is a fun little pit stop on Highway 89. After doing a quick inspection of our RV and towed, we once again head south to our next ancient discovery. We arrive at Wupaki National Monument, a place where history and landscape collide in an unforgettable way. Before heading in, we stop for the classic park sign photo op, because no road trip is complete without one. From here, we make our way to the Visitor Center, where exhibits tell the story of people who lived here centuries ago. Wupaki was once a thriving Puebloan community, home to the ancestral Puebloans who built elaborate, multi-room dwellings from the striking red sandstone. Stepping outside, we walk through the ancient ruins, exploring the remains of homes and gathering spaces, and even a ball court that hint at a vibrant past. It's incredible to imagine that over 900 years ago, this was a center of trade and culture in the high desert. The landscape may seem harsh today, but to the people who lived here, it was home. The towering walls and carefully crafted stonework still stand strong, whispering stories of the past to those who take the time to listen.
It's built onto the rock. There's the original rock, and here's the original stone, or that handlaid stone.
And this stuff is 900 years old. 900 years.
Crazy. It's like a hotel. 900-year-old hotel.
There's a whole colony living here.
Yeah.
Leaving the Wupaki ruins, we continue south on Highway 89, heading towards a hidden roadside mystery, the Spirit Totems. Standing at the very edge of ancient indigenous lands, these carved figures seemed almost like guardians of the past, watching over travelers as they pass. Just feet from the highway, it's easy to overlook them, but for those who stop, they hold an undeniable presence. Much like the ancestral Puebloan ruins we just explored, these totems feel deeply connected to the land's long history.
Woohoo!
Oh, point.
How cool. Okay, I'm putting an Oreo cookie.
Okay, here we're making an offering to the travel gods for good luck with our travel. Other people have left things as well, hoping for good luck for our travels.
While their exact origins remain a mystery, they serve as a reminder of the spiritual traditions and beliefs that have shaped this region for centuries.
Cool, 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 cool. Cool.
1, 2, 3.
Whether it's a myth or truth, after miles of exploring lost civilizations, volcanic landscapes, and hidden history, taking a moment here feels like paying respect to the spirits of the Southwest. And with a simple offering, maybe we'll even pick up a little good luck along the way. Just 15 miles from the ancient ruins of Wupaki, we arrive at Sunset Crater Volcano National Monument, a striking reminder that this landscape is far from static. We spoke with the rangers inside the visitor center, and they recommended we drive our big rig RV into the park where there was a generously sized parking area next to the paved volcano debris field walking path. Unlike the ruins, which date back nearly 1,000 years, the volcanoes here are relatively young, with Sunset Crater's eruption occurring less than 1,000 years ago, around 1085 AD. In geological terms, that's practically yesterday. The eruption reshaped the land, leaving behind rugged expanses of lava flows, cinder fields, and scorched earth that still looks fresh today.
It's a nice place for a picnic.
We got rocks in here. So
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna,
like almost a tube.
yeah.
Cool.
For the Puebloan people living at Wupaki, the eruption was a life-changing event. Ash and lava blanketed the surrounding area, forcing many to relocate. But while the destruction was immense, it also enriched the soil, allowing new agricultural opportunities to emerge.
Right, so this erupted in 1080, and these things, this is what we just saw, was 900 years old, so that's
Yeah, it was around 1100. They said
Either-
people were there.
before or right after the eruption, because this isn't very far away.
No.
We're probably
10 miles as a crow flies,
10
maybe?
miles as a crow, yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe a little longer, but not very far away. So they either made this before and then left after the eruption, or came in after the eruption and said, hey,
Yeah.
it's hard to say.
In the years that followed, people returned, adapting to the altered landscape and even thriving in the volcanic soil's improved fertility. Today, standing between the ruins and the volcano, it's incredible to imagine how closely these two worlds, one of destruction and one of resilience, are connected by both time and geography.
Very rough. Very coarse.
Well, this suggests people had ample warning of the impending eruption.
Right.
So you're going to know if something's going to happen,
Yeah,
hopefully.
maybe. A little rumble and bubble and puke and then go quiet again. It's hard to say. That's what they keep studying all these other ones. Even in Colorado, we've got hot water
Well,
in
there's
places.
there's hot springs and stuff, but nothing as
But this is
geothermal as
quite a, yeah. This whole mountain range is all volcano, not push-up like the Rockies are.
As we leave behind the ancient ruins, spirit totems, and volcanic landscapes, it's hard not to reflect on how time reshapes both nature and civilization. Just a few miles from where ancient cultures once thrived, we roll into North Flagstaff, a stark contrast with new development, busy roads, and ongoing construction. A reminder of how today's society is always expanding, always building. And right in the middle of it all, an In-N-Out burger calling our names. How about a thumbs up if you like this video? And please subscribe. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for tuning into our channel.
Got burgers.
we got burgers.
Burgers and fries.
Oh, yes.
Gotta work for our for our lunch.
I know, road construction here. Okay, yay. In-N-Out Burger is on 89A. It was good. Okay.
We make it through the bustling city of Flagstaff and find one of our favorite BLM dry camping areas in the middle of towering pine trees. We settle into our quiet boondock spot just off Schneebly Hill Road, tucked away in the South Flagstaff Forest. The stillness here is welcome contrast to the day's adventures, offering a perfect place to rest before tomorrow's journey into Sedona's stunning red rock landscapes.
Good morning. And today we are on our way to go explore Sedona. So we're going to go down Highway 89A into Sedona, look around town a little bit, see some of the sights, and we'll show you what we find.
As we wind our way down Highway 89 into Sedona, the road twists and turns through towering pine forests, then suddenly opens to reveal the iconic red rock landscapes that make this place so special. The morning light casts a golden glow over the cliffs, and with most of the town still asleep, we have the roads almost to ourselves. Before the day's adventures begin, we're on a mission to find a hidden gem tucked away in a quiet neighborhood, a place of peace and reflection that feels worlds away from the bustling tourist hotspots. The Amitabha Stupa Peace Park isn't what you would expect to find in Sedona, but that's what makes it so unique. Nestled against the red rocks, this sacred Buddha site is a place of healing, prayer, and meditation. The 36-foot stupa, built as a symbol of enlightenment, stands in serene contrast to the rugged desert surroundings.
Cute little park. It really is a cute park. I liked it. Kind of fun.
Leaving the peaceful Amitabha Stupa, we shift gears, literally, and head into Sedona's rugged backcountry. Our route? Loy Butte Road, a well-worn dirt trail that winds through the heart of the Red Rock Canyons.
Yeah, we've seen a couple pink Jeeps go by, so this must be the right spot. They know where the good trails are. And the good views. Kind of out behind Sedona right now, south side of Sedona anyway. We got some buttes. It's all good. We'll get these tires down a little bit and we'll carry on.
Towering sandstone formations rise around us, their deep red hues glowing in the midday sun. After a few miles of soaking in the epic views, we find a perfect shady spot beneath the cliffs for a simple but satisfying trail lunch: toasted cheese and turkey sandwiches. There's something about eating outside, surrounded by nothing but towering rock walls and endless desert sky, that makes even the simplest meals taste amazing. With the sound of nature all around, we take a moment to relax before hitting the trail again, because there's still more to explore. With lunch wrapped up and the Red Rock Canyons in our rearview mirror, we make our way back down Loy Butte Road, kicking up dust as we rejoin the pavement.
And back into downtown Sedona.
Yeah, I feel like Sedona is a national park with a city going right through the middle of it.
Because it's that picturesque.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
Except for there's lots of people here too.
Late September, and there is plenty of people.
Despite the growing crowds, we luck out and snag a rare parking spot, a win in a town where parking can feel like striking gold. With no real agenda, we set off on foot, ready to take in the sights, wandering through local shops and soaking up the lively atmosphere. From crystal shops to art galleries, Sedona always has something interesting around every corner. Leaving the bustle of downtown Sedona, we trade pavement for one of the roughest back roads in Arizona, Schnebly Hill Road. Originally carved out in the early 1900s by Carl Schnebly, this historic route was meant to connect the remote Oak Creek community with the outside world. Intended to be a major trade route, the road was never fully developed, leaving behind a rugged, boulder-strewn path that now serves as a favorite challenge for off-roaders. It's a slow, bone-rattling ascent, but the reward at the top, panoramic views of Sedona's Red Rock country, makes every jarring mile worth it. For off-road enthusiasts, Schnebly Hill Road isn't just another bumpy back road. It's a Jeep Badge of Honor trail, a title reserved for some of the most scenic and challenging off-road routes in the country. Earning that badge means conquering miles of rough terrain, steep inclines, and relentless rocks that test both driver skill and vehicle durability. While today's adventurers tackle it for the thrill, it's wild to think that this same rugged route once served as a lifeline for early settlers, connecting Sedona to Flagstaff before modern highways existed. What's one of the strangest sights along this primitive rock-strewn trail? Sewer pipe manhole covers smack in the middle of the unpaved road. A remnant of an old, unfinished infrastructure project, these covers feel hilariously out of place in such a remote and wild setting. It's a quirky contrast, modern utilities colliding with a century-old wagon route. But that's just part of the charm of Schnebly Hill Road. As we bounce our way to the summit, the unmatched views of Sedona below remind us why this rugged path remains a bucket list drive for adventurers willing to brave the bumps.
Red rocks.
Schnebly Road
Schnebly.
is rough. You need a four-wheel drive. You just go slow, be patient, it's bumpy, and enjoy the view.
With every jolt and bounce, the trail reminds us why it holds its legendary status. The views at the top, overlooking Sedona's sprawling red rock formations, are nothing short of spectacular. As we take in the scenery, we can't help but appreciate the mix of history, adventure, and sheer rugged beauty that makes Schnebly Hill Road a must-do for anyone who loves off-road exploration. As the sun dips lower, we take in the breathtaking views from the top of Schnebly Hill, a perfect way to end our action-packed day. From here, the road smooths out, winding gently under Interstate 17 as we make our way back to camp. Nestled in the quiet solitude of the pine forest, our boondock spot on BLM land feels like a world away from the bustling trails and busy streets of Sedona. We unwind with a simple but hearty camp dinner, letting the cool mountain air and towering pines set the perfect evening atmosphere.
Wonderful day at the campground. This here BLM land today. It's beautiful. But here in Arizona, sunset is just after 6 o'clock. Their time zone is different than the rest of the country. But it's okay. Enjoying the evening here. It's nice. I know, what are you saying, pup? You like it out here, or is it getting dark already? What do you think?
A blink.
Where's your frisbee?
Where's the bird?
As the last light fades, we toss a frisbee for Kenai, watching her race happily through the trees, a reminder that the best adventures end in peaceful moments like these.
Yay, puppy.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea. Okay, I'm gonna watch these rear wheels because there's a rock. There is a rock. Okay, you're gonna hit the rock. You need back up, stop. Okay, that rock is under your belly bins. You're clearing the back, but yeah, watching that rock on the right is going to be the thing. Right now you're clear. You're good? Yeah, go ahead and keep turning. It's all good.
It's episode 14 of our road trip. We'll continue our journey south along the historic path of Highway 89. We spend a day exploring Prescott before paying our respects at the Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial. We follow the original Highway 89 route beyond its modern-day end in Wicksburg, stopping in Florence to explore Poston Butte and visiting the ancient ruins of Casa Grande National Monument. From boondocking in the pines to RV life in the desert, we end episode 14 by celebrating a birthday with a gorgeous sunset at Saguaro National Park, one step closer to the Mexican border and the final miles of this legendary road trip.
Schnebly Hill Road. See you later. We're gonna get on 17 north. We gotta get back on 89.
We'll reattach to Highway 89 at I-40, where we'll head west, but first we need some fuel. There's a Maverick truck stop on our Open Roads fuel card program just up the road. It's been over 500 miles since our last fill-up, and this tank will finish the road trip. Back on I-40, we take the Ash Fork exit and head south on Highway 89. At this point, it's still officially marked as 89, and it will be until well past Prescott.
Just filled up in Williams, Arizona, and right now we are heading south on Highway 89, heading to Prescott. Prescott. That's where we're heading now.
This route south keeps us on our toes, with 2-lane roads, desert views, and the occasional traffic circle just to keep things interesting. We're camping tonight at White Spar Forest Service Campground, just south of town. It's a dry site, no hookups and no dump station, and after a few days of boondocking in the pines, we need to reset. Thankfully, we found a clean and easy to access dump station at the Blue Compass RV dealership on the north side of Prescott. They let us empty our tanks and fill up with fresh water. Best of all, it was totally free. And they even have propane available. What a great stop for RVers passing through. We find our site and get settled in for the next few days. Tomorrow it's time to explore Prescott and see what this mountain town has to offer.
We are in Prescott, Arizona today.
Prescott welcomes us with its blend of frontier history and small-town charm. Once the capital of the Arizona Territory, it still holds onto its Wild West roots. We stroll the courthouse square, passing old saloons, art galleries, and tree-shaded sidewalks. Around town, we notice several memorials honoring the Granite Mountain Hotshots, a solemn reminder of the 19 lives lost in 2013. Tomorrow, as we head south, we'll visit the memorial site to pay our respects. Whiskey Row, once home to more than 40 saloons, still bustles with character and echoes of its rowdy past. This stretch of Highway 89 is named the Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial Highway, a solemn reminder of the lives lost in these nearby mountains. We get hungry, and our noses follow the familiar scent of an In-N-Out burger located nearby.
Right back for the shakes.
Right back for the shakes. And the shakes. Yes.
The shakes.
Costco. Yeah, we had our In-N-Out burger. We went to the Walmart, which was pretty nice for a Walmart. And now it's time to go into Costco. Getting our chores done.
And we're off. This morning,
We are leaving the Prescott area.
back on Highway 89 South. Is going to get really twisty. So we have not attached the Jeep to the rig yet.
We're heading down the steep, twisty road.
We've done it before, and It's pretty twisty. Next up, though, I think is the Granite Mountain Hotshot Memorial. We're gonna swing in there real quick, pay our respects, and head on into Phoenix.
It's gonna be so hot. They're having record hot temperatures. Like today's supposed to be 111 in Phoenix and tomorrow 112. And yeah, we're going right down into it.
This stretch of Highway 89 winds its way down into the Phoenix Valley, twisting through the mountains with sweeping views of the plains below. It's a slow, narrow two-lane descent, scenic, but not exactly speedy. We could have towed the Jeep behind our rig without much trouble, but since we were already unhooked, we decided to play it safe and drive down separately. After navigating the worst of the twisties, we pulled off at a wide turnout to hook the Jeep back up. The lower we got, the hotter it became, trading mountain air for desert heat. From there, we continued south towards the Granite Mountain Hotshot Memorial. The memorial sits high on the ridge, but with the steep climb and the intense heat, this time we didn't attempt the hike. Natalie comes from a family of LA County firefighters, so we understand the deep commitment behind the badge. These men loved what they were doing, and every time we stop here, it hits hard. Their sacrifice is felt deeply.
Wow, and if you hike all the way up the hill, if you hike all the way up this hill, you get to the site. This is what gets me, is this timeline of how it all went down on that day 11 years ago.
From here, the road straightens out a bit, but the view down into the valley floor is nothing short of spectacular. Once we descend, the landscape transforms into the vast desert, with only occasional pockets of civilization dotted among the towering cactus and rugged terrain. At least until the traffic circles start popping up.
In 9.8 miles, that's the end of the road.
The current official Highway 89 ends just north of Wickenburg, where it merges onto Highway 93. In 1994, a commission tasked with renumbering highways across the country decided to eliminate the number 89 after this intersection. This renumbering was part of a larger effort to create a more consistent and logical highway system, especially with the increased role of interstates. The goal was to make navigation easier, and some of the older, less traveled routes were reassigned or decommissioned. From here, we'll continue south on new highway numbers following the original Highway 89 path all the way to Mexico. We diverge from the unofficial Highway 89 route to head to Casa Grande for the night. It's a great central spot for us to pick up the old road in the Jeep tomorrow, where we'll hunt for some cool roadside attractions and explore another ancient national monument. But tonight, we're hunkering down inside with the AC cranking hard, trying to stay cool under the fall heat dome that's gripping the region.
It is so hot. Record heat here. Right now, sun is down and it's down to 103. Crazy.
What'd you get?
Oh, I got a glazed buttermilk bar and a chocolate old fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yep.
This car doesn't have a toast.
Yeah,
spot.
there's no holders. Not like my Yukon had. Okay, so you're gonna go exit out,
We'll
turn
find
right.
a doggy park for the dog.
I know, just a little bit of grass. I'm hoping for a little bit of grass for the dog.
Yeah.
You're in Phoenix. Actually, a little bit east of Phoenix. I got my swig, so it was fun to get one in Utah. So now, getting one here in Arizona.
After grabbing some fast food for breakfast, we head back north to reconnect with the retired Highway 89 route. We drive through Phoenix and then head east on Highway 60 towards Florence, where we'll finally turn south again. This road is now called Highway 79, and it's so much more descriptive than the original 89 number. But we're sure they must have had a very good reason to renumber them. Our next stop is Poston Butte, an Atlas Obscura find near Florence. This hill is the final resting place of Charles de Brille Poston, the father of Arizona. Poston played a pivotal role in Arizona's push for statehood and served in the first delegate to the U.S. Congress in 1864. He envisioned a grand temple to the sun atop the hill, which originally was known as Primrose Hill. Although the temple was never built, his legacy remains in the form of his pyramidal tomb at the top of the hill, offering a unique glimpse into Arizona's early history.
It's It's a little after 10 in the morning, 106 degrees, and a hot oven-like wind. So I'm not climbing to the top right now. But anyway, that's where Poston is buried, is that pyramid at the top of this hill. But yeah, it's hot. The wind is hot and everything is hot. Phoenix is hot. That's our Atlas Obscura item for Florence, Arizona. Kind of a cool little bridge overpass, underpass. Smells like creosote. Doggy. But we just finished driving through southern Phoenix on the old 89 route. Where's the dog? Anyway, next item.
Casa Grande National Monument is an incredible archaeological site located in Coolidge. The monument preserves the remains of a prehistoric Hohokam community that thrived here over 600 years ago. The most striking feature is the Casa Grande, a massive 4-story structure built from caliche, a natural cement-like substance. The Hohokam people used this structure as a multi-purpose building, likely for ceremonial purposes. This site also features a network of canals, which were part of the Hohokam's sophisticated irrigation system that allowed them to farm in the desert. Casa Grande National Monument offers a fascinating glimpse into the lives of these ancient people and their remarkable engineering skills. We returned to camp after an excellent day exploring and retracing the Highway 89 route. It was still ridiculously hot, so we retired inside to keep cool for the rest of the evening.
Ooh, it's another hot morning. Hot, hot, hot.
With no relief from the record heat, we hooked up and headed out for our last campsite of this epic road trip. While there's still more to see, that all can wait. I've got a birthday celebration to get to. We roll through Tucson on Highway 79 without stopping. It's way too hot to linger. All we can think about is reaching camp, cranking the AC, and getting ready for a birthday party in the middle of the cactus-lined desert. Our final campground of the trip is at Gilbert Ray, just outside Saguaro National Park. Even further south now, and the heat is nearly unbearable. Fortunately, this campground has 50-amp electric hookups, so we can run both ACs to try to keep up with the scorching temperatures. At least when the sun sets, the temperatures drop just enough to keep my birthday cake from melting.
Right here. She's like, no, we're playing balloons right now.
That wasn't very good. You're gonna pop it. It's gonna pop.
It's good. Well, here we are in a bunch of cactus. What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
See this right here? Right here. You hang on to that. Oh, she's like, where'd it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? No. Where'd it go?
It's just after 5 a.m. and the desert is still asleep. I'm hiking to the top of Brown Mountain with only the sound of my footsteps and my heavy breathing. If you've been with us this far, you're coming to finish our Highway 89 road trip together.
Well, good morning. It's a beautiful sunrise this morning. I'm here at the top of Brown Mountain in the middle of the western Saguaro National Park. Saguaro National Park here is two different park areas. It's split in two by the city of Tucson. We're in the western part. Our campground is just over there. You might be able to see a couple campers in amongst the saguaros. But this side here is probably the better side. It has more saguaros in my opinion, and more different types of cactuses. You go through Tucson east, and it takes about an hour to get to the eastern section of Saguaro National Park. And it just doesn't have quite as many features. And it's surrounded by houses just about. So this side over here, at least we have a couple mountains separating us from Tucson and giving us a little bit of different perspective, I guess. We like this side better. Yeah, the sun's already getting hot, so it's time to go.
It's time to head down out of the heat and get into the Jeep to explore Tucson.
All right, we're out and about in Saguaro National Park. We're kind of in between the two of them on Gates Pass Road. So Gates Pass must be up and over this crevice here in this mountain. But the view here is of the western part of Saguaro National Park. Not bad. You are here Tower Peak. All right, we're in Tucson Mountain Park.
Gates Pass is a twisty mountain road carved out in 1883 by Thomas Gates, a local pioneer looking for a shortcut to his mine. Today it winds through Tucson Mountain Park, one of the largest natural areas in the region, with over 20,000 acres and 60 miles of trails, and what might be the densest saguaro forest in the world. As the morning sun lights up the desert, we roll down the pass and head towards the eastern side of Saguaro National Park through the center of downtown Tucson. The eastern side of Saguaro National Park sits right on the edge of Tucson, but once you're inside, the Cactus Forest Loop Drive immerses you in towering saguaros and desert landscapes. This 8-mile scenic loop offers easy access to viewpoints, picnic areas, and quiet desert trails.
We're staying at the Gilbert Ray Campground, which is a great place because you're camped among all the different types of cactus, which is really nice. Right now we're doing the drive on the east side of Saguaro National Park. And if you're not staying in the area, you're just coming by Tucson for a little bit, this 8-mile drive that they have here on this side is really good. And it's worth doing. But staying at Gilbert Ray, driving through here just feels like we're at the campground because it has all the same cactus as the campground. Now, if you want to learn more about the cactus around the area, I recommend doing the Saguaro National Park on the west side. I think it has more information about the cactus. On our way over here to the east side of Saguaro National Park, we drove over Gates Pass Road, which is in a way even more scenic than this 8-mile road in Saguaro National Park. So just going over Gates Pass Road, there's so many saguaros and all the other types of cactus, the cholos and all those are there, and they look healthy and abundant.
And they're sprinkled all over.
And they're sprinkled all over the hills. So we also recommend just going to the top of Gates Pass Road.
Leaving Tucson behind, we begin our ascent up the Catalina Highway, also known as the Sky Island Scenic Byway, to the top of Mount Lemmon. This 27-mile route climbs over 6,000 feet, transitioning through 4 distinct ecosystems. From the saguaro-filled desert below, we pass through grasslands, mixed woodlands, and finally reach the alpine forest at the summit. The highway's construction began in 1933 under the guidance of Frank Harris Hitchcock, a former Postmaster General and publisher of the Tucson Citizen. To facilitate its building, a federal prison camp was established at the mountain's base where inmates, including Japanese Americans during World War II, were compelled to work on the road's development. The highway was completed in 1950, and upon Hitchcock's passing in 1935, it was renamed in his honor as the General Hitchcock Highway. we pull off at a scenic viewpoint, perfect for stretching our legs and taking in the panoramic desert views. The temperature difference from Tucson's hot desert floor to the cooler mountaintop is striking. It's a welcome relief as we enjoy a picnic here. While there's several designated picnic areas further up the road, most of them require a fee for use. So this spot serves as a great free alternative to enjoy lunch and the stunning scenery in relative coolness. As we reach the summit of Mount Lemmon, we pass Mount Lemmon Ski Valley, the southernmost ski area in the United States. First opened in the late 1940s, it's perched high above the desert, just 80 miles from the Mexican border. Despite its southern latitude, it still sees enough snow for winter sports. Today, though, it's closed for the season, so we continue past the quiet slopes to the top, where sweeping views reveal just how far we've climbed, from cactus to alpine cool. Our descent back down Mount Lemmon is quiet and a little bittersweet. The cool mountain air fades behind us as the desert heat returns, and we wind our way back to camp at Gilbert Ray. After a full day of exploring dramatic landscapes and Sky Island views, the sun sets in one of the final chapters of this road trip. Tomorrow we make our way south towards the border and the end of Highway 89. With the sun rising and the train horn blaring across the open desert, we roll on, following the faded path of the original Highway 89 one last time. This route is already tough to trace, and a bit of road construction threatens to throw us off course. But there's something fitting about the challenge, chasing a legendary road that's slowly disappearing, mile by mile, into history. As we continue south, acres of fruit trees line the road, a stark contrast to the desert that surrounds them. But soon the road begins to deteriorate, forcing us to make the inevitable jump onto I-19. As we settle back onto the modern highway, we stumble upon a giant steer skull, guarding the entrance to a roadside restaurant, a quirky landmark that perfectly captures the spirit of the journey. Built in the early 70s by Tucson artist Michael Katza, this 30-foot-high concrete structure has served various purposes over the decades, including a bait shop and a clothing store. Its distinctive design has also made appearances in feature films. Today, the Longhorn Grill and Saloon continues to welcome travelers, offering a unique blend of history, art, and Southwestern hospitality. Continuing our journey south, we stumble upon the Santa Cruz Chili and Spice Company, a local hidden gem first established in 1943. Founded by Gene and Judy England, the company began with Gene's cultivation of mild red chilies and his innovative development of a chili paste that would become a staple in southwestern kitchens. The shop also houses a museum, providing visitors with a taste of local history and the enduring legacy of the England family's contribution to regional cuisine. That wasn't too bad of a store. They've been there since 1942.
And you bought some stuff.
And I bought some stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll give it a try.
Yeah, go Can Cook, Brian.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've been there for over 80 years at this place.
Wow. Right
Crazy.
here, probably Highway 89.
Yeah, it might have been Highway 89 back then too.
If not, right there is Interstate I-19.
Yeah. Yep,
So
yep.
either way,
We're in the middle of it.
either way, it's Highway 89.
But yeah, it's a nice little store. I'd definitely put it on the list of places to stop.
Yeah. I'm glad we stopped.
Okay. As we continue south on I-19, we approach the end of the interstate. Literally, the road stops at the border wall. We take the exit just before reaching downtown, and it's hard not to reflect on how different this border is from the one we crossed at the start of the journey in Canada. There, the crossing was wide open and welcoming, the landscape serene and untamed. Here, the wall stands as a stark reminder of the complexities surrounding the U.S.-Mexico border, dividing not just countries, but communities. As we drive alongside it, we can see through the steel beams to Mexico on the other side, a poignant contrast to the open spaces we left behind up north.
There. Highway 89. We're on 89. Yay.
Nogales.
89 in Nogales.
Driving through downtown Nogales, we're right on the original Highway 89. The area is filled with shops, stores, and colorful market stalls, many catering to those who've recently crossed the border or U.S. citizens eager to walk across into Mexico. It's a bustling, vibrant scene, half of it steeped in the hustle of commerce and half of it in the rhythm of everyday life between two cultures. From pharmacies and souvenir shops to authentic taco stands and mercados, this part of Nogales pulses with the energy of constant movement and connections across the border. We cross over the railroad tracks and make our way down an alley path, heading towards the walk-through border station entrance. Unfortunately, we don't get to witness the gun-toting Border Patrol agents inspecting the slow-moving trains for illegal immigrants, a scene that's part of the daily operations along the U.S.-Mexican border. It's a reminder of the often unseen vigilance that takes place right here, where trains, roads, and people continuously move between two nations. We're here in Nogales, Arizona, at the American-Mexican border. Highway 89 is just right over there. And we've made it from Canada to Mexico on Highway 89. I think it's a wrap. We've done it.
We have done it.
Woo!
Good job. We did the whole road.
Alrighty.
Let's take this in for a moment.
Yeah, let's just kind of relax a
Take
bit.
it in.
But yeah, that was a fantastic ride. It was fun, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. It was a great drive.
And
I
up
know.
to the wall.
Here's the wall. The wall of Mexico. Oh my
right
gosh.
up over a hill. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, it's a wrap.
Guess what's coming in 2025?
Alaska.
We're gonna drive to Alaska.
Woo!
More fun coming.
More fun
More
coming.
fun is coming.
More fun is coming. And now, as we stand at the end of the road, it's time to look back at the unforgettable journey, filled with fun stops, stunning landscapes, and all of the incredible national parks we explored along Highway 89. We set out on Highway 89, chasing curiosity, and found something so much grander. Quiet moments, wild beauty, forgotten towns, and the freedom that only the open road can offer. This road gave us more than just miles. It gave us stories. Although this chapter ends at the border, the journey doesn't stop here. Ahead lies a new horizon. And a new adventure. An Alaskan Odyssey, waiting to be written.